Picasso has a quote. He says, "Everything you can imagine is real." You know, have you ever sat back before and you were imagining something or visualizing it or kind of daydreaming about it? What if this, that, and then it happened? Like, there's a part of our brain called the reticular activating system. And I didn't know what it was when I was little, but I remember there was this game, like the Punch Buggy game, and where it was like, I'd sit in the back seat with my brother, and whenever we would see a punch buggy, whoever called it out in the color first got to punch the other person until we found another color that matched it. You know, have you played that game? Well, I didn't know at the time, but I remember always thinking like, why do I keep seeing yellow punch buggies? And it was the one that I was focusing on. Until I started studying a little bit more about the brain. And there's a part called the reticular activating system. And that's a part of our brain, whether something is real or not real, it's the part of our brain that focuses on something to expand our awareness of it. So it's kind of like a missile. A missile has a part of its system that it focuses in on something and it hits that target. Your reticular activating system is the same way. You know, this wonderful thing happens for me in summer when I see women in pretty summer dresses. I'm like, man, there's so many pretty women in summer dresses, and it keeps expanding. And I'm trying to throw out as many different scenarios as possible to see that we even hear about times when people, I forget what the disease is called. If you know what the disease is, write it down below. But it's the disease where people aren't actually sick, but they believe that they're sick and they start to create illnesses. And I have a friend that has it, and a friend's sister who has it. And our mind is so powerful that it doesn't actually know what's real and what's not real. That if you suggest something into your mind long enough, it becomes a reality within your mind. And if you hold that long enough, the attention, the awareness of it expands so much so that it starts to create itself, or you start to see it. You know, like, I think of like a schizophrenic person, and I think like, are they really hallucinating, or are they just seeing something in their mind they focused on so long that they think it's real? And that their mind is starting to create that reality. They're actually seeing something. We don't see it, but they are. And so I think about the power of the mind in all these regards. The ability for it to focus on something and it starts to appear, or the ability for you to say that you're sick, or the ability to say that you're healthy. The placebo effect. The placebo effect, they're even doing clinical trials for people with cancer with AZT. It was in like the 70s, I think, and it was a really top high end. It was at the time the most expensive marketed prescription drug, and they were giving placebo effects to people that were actually getting sugar pills, but they were telling them it was the most powerful thing on the market, and they were actually healing themselves. And so there's all these different sectors of ways that our mind creates something that may not have been there from the beginning. And that is what Picasso's quote is that everything that you can imagine is real. If you think about it, how is a house created? A house is created first out of the imagination. First somebody conceives the idea of it, and then they go through the process. It's an imagination, then it's a clear thought, then it's an actionable plan, then it's action. I think about Apple. How was Mac created? First, it was imagination. A visionary is someone who sees something in their imagination as the vision and knows that it's already a reality, and then they take the steps to implement it. And so all these different things that have ever been created in existence, this camera through which I'm speaking to you, it was first an imaginative thought, and then it was created real because somebody took that as something tangible within their imagination and thus created it. And so the more and more that you can proceed as if what you're imagining is real, your dreams, whatever it is. Sometimes people imagine, whoa, everybody, I don't have any friends because everybody hates me. And you like go ask everyone like, so do you hate them? No? Or somebody thinks their boyfriend or girlfriend's cheating on them. They've made it so real that they're experiencing the feelings of it, the nervousness of it, the fear of it, these hot sweats, as if it's real. So whatever you're imagining is real. And you can create whatever you want out of your imagination just by getting a clear vision of it, a clear focus of it, and keeping that thing. Because as Esther Hicks says, everything is two things: the existence of it or the absence of it. And so when you're in your imagination, either I'm sick or I'm not sick. You're focusing on one or the other thing. And so if you can go into your imagination and you're imagining this is creating itself, you're making it real, you're making it tangible, because immediately you're experiencing the emotions of it, and that's your driving force to actually implement it. And so remember that what you're putting into your imagination is what's conceiving actual reality. And when you can remember that and really hone in your imagination, that's how you create things.